talk about him as one of the great strikers, but the record he's got at Arsenal is pretty special, isn't it?
I think they do talk, but obviously with players, top players that are playing at clubs that are winning constantly, there is more impact on that. But we all know how good Oba is remarkable how he's doing and how consistent he's been over the years to do it, which is very, very difficult to do. So I think we all appreciate, at least at the club, his value and what he brings to us.
Because you very rarely play him through the middle, which is maybe even more, considering his scoring record. He's spent most of the time out on the left.
With the players we have at the moment, we have to try to put a team that our goal threat is high. To do that, if I play up there, then I don't play Laka, then why you don't play the two together, they can score both goals. There's always positives and negatives. I just try to find the right balance. And players that can generate chemistry between them, and that's what I make the decisions.
Gary Neville said this week, talking about this, obviously, he said he's not mentioned as world class. We don't mention him as a Premier League great, and I think we have to. Do you think the reason that maybe pundits and wider people outside Arsenal don't talk it is just because he's been playing in a struggling side, we haven't been competing at the top, haven't been winning trophies while he's here? Do you think that's the only reason?
Well, I think if he would have been a top scorer of the league and won the league, he would have been voted the best player in the league for sure. But you need both. You need the individual performance and you need the collective side as well of your team and club to support that. And that's why we have to make a step forward to try to convince these top players to want to stay at our club, be successful and be happy.
Just on that contract, would you prefer now, because we know there's no talks going on at the moment, would you prefer that happens in the summer rather than now, just to keep his focus on football?
The club has a very clear idea of how he wants to develop things. They are in constant communication with players' agents and they know the plan better than I do, and I completely trust them on that.
Mikel, can I just ask about Bernd Leno? You played him last week in the Europa League, whereas in the past managers here have rotated their goalkeepers to that competition. I think you made a few good saves last week and also on Sunday. Have you been impressed, maybe even surprised by just how good he is since you came in?
Yeah, I've been really pleased with his performances. I've been really pleased with the person that I'm getting to know, how professional he is as well. And yeah, the club was playing 4 competition. One of the goalkeepers was playing 3 and Ben was playing 1. And I wanted a little bit more balance at the moment. And that's it. When Ben at the moment is the number 1, if Emi oversteps and he starts to perform better, he will be number 1. And whoever I think that is better to play, he will play.
Can I ask how important that is regarding the goalkeepers having a definite number 1 or a floating number 1? Because we saw last night at Chelsea again that the guy they bought in for over £70 million is on the bench, and the 39-year-old's playing, and people are not sure who the number 1 is. With the goalkeeper, if you have a number 1 at the start of the season, are you almost, or at the start of your campaign, do you always have to stay with that?
I think that position is evolving as the rest of the game is evolving, and other positions are evolving too. Before it was just one, and he used to play 50 games, and the other one used to never play. I think at the moment, managers are more flexible. I think the competition is better. It's not that big difference between number 1 and 2, which is great for competition and for them to improve and challenge themselves. And that, I think, is the reason why.
Can I ask about Joe Willock? He obviously started last week, but he's been in and out of the Premier League team this season. He's got that gift, hasn't he, for driving forward with the ball and really eating up the space. But maybe other parts of the game are inconsistent. Is that number 10 position his best one going forward? How do you envisage him?
I think so. I think he's perfect to play in that role. I think he's got incredible physical attributes, but as well he's a very intelligent boy. He learns really quickly. He's very willing. I think he's developing really, really well, and I am very pleased with him.
Mikel, back on Aubameyang, do you mind, apologies if you've been asked this before, but how do you compare him with Aguero, another striker you've worked with who sometimes was criticised for not doing anything except for scoring lots of goals?
I wouldn't like to compare, but what I can say with Oba is that he's right there with the best goal scorers in this league, and in the last 10 years you look at his record and what he's done in the game. It's phenomenal. So he's just, in my opinion, up there with the best.
Do you feel that those goals deserve to be rewarded with silverware. When you look at all of the great strikers, they all do have silverware.
Yeah, but Harry Kane scored 30 goals and never won the Premier League, you know. So it's a lot of good example of players that they do phenomenal. Unfortunately, in this country is a lot of top teams and only one wins the league. So you can't have everything in life.
Can I just ask you very quickly? I mean, I'm sure you've been asked this before, but you're both in clubs where you've got a lot of pressure on, and you relish that pressure because you want to be operating with quality players, big clubs, and whatever else. Do you talk to each other in moments like this and cheer each other on? But are you encouraging each other?
Absolutely, he's my friend. He's been a mentor. He's been someone that I spend a lot of hours, days and nights with him. I love him, and yeah, I always feel great support from him, and he knows that I'm here all the time if he needs anything.
Does he give you advice? You know, do you talk through with them?
Yeah, we talk about a lot of things. Yeah.
If they obviously put their, I don't obviously will give the details of that, but you know, I'm presuming you're quite supportive of him in the situation he's in, and you hope he stays in this league.
Yeah.
Any more?
Can I ask one about Laka? He said when he was struggling, you helped him through.
Mm.
Can you talk a little bit about strikers when they lose their confidence, and how did he lose his confidence, and how did you help him?
Well, I just tried to convince him how good he is. I tried to convince him all the positive thing that he was doing for the team and how this positive thing effective in a really good way to the team as well. You know, that yeah, it's great that you can put that ball in the net, but it's a lot of aspects of the game that you're doing really well. Keep doing those, don't lose them, and the rest will come because you have incredible ability to finish. And his attitude has been so good. Yeah, he was a little bit down because obviously the pressure increases, the days go past, but then he scored 2 in 2, and hopefully many more to come.
Did he lift him?
Eh?
Have the goals lifted him?
I think so, obviously. I think the biggest and the most powerful thing for him it was the reaction of his teammates. When you really feel that they are behind you, they all care about you, and they show you that type of reaction, he was like, wow, it was worth it, obviously.
Mikel, how important is the Europa League to you and this squad?
Very important because it's a competition that we want to win. It's a competition that it gives us the chance to play in the Champions League next year, you know, and you know, it's Europe, it's a big challenge. It's great to go away in the stadiums like we did last week in Athens, and yeah, it's a challenge.
Just looking at the match last night between Bayern Munich and Chelsea. Obviously, Bayern put in a very consummate performance against a team that, like you, is a work in progress. It was a very complete performance by a team at the top of European football. Would you encourage your players to look at a team and players and a game like that and say, that is where we want to be, that is what we can learn from?
What you learn from those games, as those games are won in the boxes. And with every time Bayern Munich was in the opponent box, boom, it was a goal. And that affects the story of the game massively, you know, and then they can play and the game management of those teams when they are in those situations is so good, and then it makes the opponent look vulnerable, you know, but that's the power of players and clubs that they've been in those situations many times. They know how to handle them, and they expose you if you're not at your best.
So would you ever say to your players, for example, look at what Bayern did last night, I want you to be like that?
Yeah, we can use example of the players, club, situation, game moments. Yeah, of course.
Okay, last couple
last
now.
Thursday, you said that you weren't happy with the first 10 minutes, but the team showed a lot of character in that game to come away with the win. And on Sunday as well, they fell behind, showed a lot of character before. And before you arrived in games like that, they almost certainly would have lost. Can we start now to see this team as a group of fighters again?
I don't know, you have to be able to do that in a very consistent way through long periods, you know, to establish whether this is a theme in your team or not. Still to see, you know, we will see in the reactions, then the things that are going to happen in the next few weeks, how we react, but hopefully it's a trend that is going upwards, that they believe that they can always change the situation and improve it, and convince them to try to maintain to do that.
Sorry, my last question is not actually about the game or or not necessarily Arsenal. We've seen matches in Italy played behind closed doors because of health reasons. People wondering whether the Euros are going to take place this summer. Are you currently involved in a European competition whereby you don't actually know whether it's going to finish?
Yeah, but that's the situation that there is at the moment. It's a bit of panic. We are following what the authorities are saying, what the club is leading this process at the moment. The doctor is giving advice all the time, the things that we can do and prevent. And unfortunately, we don't know how far this is going to go.
Can I ask a couple from Tom?
Mikel, we spoke a lot about Pierre. Do you ever worry at all about the attack relying on his goals, and it's now time for the other players to step up and get to his level?
Yeah, we went through that when he was suspended for 3 games, and we had a pretty good response from the players that they play on those games. But yeah, long term, if you lose him, obviously the impact is going to be, it's very difficult to replace a player of that caliber. But hopefully we can keep him and maintain him, and we don't have that issue to resolve.
And in terms of all the talk that goes around, we saw Alex asked about it, Pierre's talked about it. Do you have any concerns about that distracting them as you're fighting in 3 competitions and it impacting their performances?
Distracting, sorry?
The transfer talks around them distracting them.
I think he's very used to that, and I can't see anything on that.
Okay, guys, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.